Hey guys, I'm back, black and addicted to crack. Well, some of that's true, some of that's nonsense. However, here's the new pickups. It's nearly Christmas, and that means even those among us who are paupers get to indulge a little. So, weird story about the 3DS. I picked one up at launch. I never made a video for it. And yeah, I don't know, it's like the hardware's okay, it's pretty good actually, the analog knob's pretty cool. But the launch titles were, a little bit meh. You know, over the past year I rented Ocarina of Time, the sort of semi-quasi remake they made, and that was Ocarina of Time. It was kind of good, but it's still kind of the same, which is a bit of a bummer. And then just periodically I rented a few games, and then honestly it's just been sat there for months. Been meaning to play Star Fox 64 3DS, because I love that game, Star Fox 64 on the N64. You know, and as a result, I thought I'd enjoy the 3DS version, but my experience with Ocarina of Time kind of put me off. Although, to be honest, it does look as though a little more work went into Star Fox 64 3DS. However, that's all bullshit for the time being, because now they've actually released some decent games, original games, per se, for the 3DS. First of which is Mario Kart 7. I spent a lot of time playing this last night, about 3 hours in one session, in the AMs, I may add. And man, this game is fantastic. I'm pretty sure, I want to check on the back though, I'm pretty sure this was put out by Retro Studios, is that right? I don't know because it doesn't say. Well, let's assume it is, and those are the guys who brought you the Metroid Prime trilogy and Donkey Kong Country Returns. Pretty good precedent, or pretty good track record I should say, for Retro Studios. And this is no exception, it's really fantastic. What they've added, if you don't already know, is the ability to sort of hang glide. So you've got flying sections or floating sections, and you've also got underwater sections. It seems like only a small change, but it really does spice up the levels. I found with more recent Mario Kart games, I turn them on, I play the classic levels, and then pretty much I'll be done with them. With this, it's wonderful because they've actually added some of these hang gliding and underwater sections to the classic levels, but it's not in a really intrusive way. Traditionally in Mario Kart games, like some of the earlier ones, if you drove too deep into the water, into the sea, you'd drown. And then, you know, the camera guy would come in, he'd drop you back down on the course, and you continue. In this, instead of having to do that, you can just drive through it with your little propeller. So that's kind of cool. Additionally, you know, anywhere where there's a big jump in Mario Kart, traditionally, the old school levels, and now you can glide across them, which is fantastic. But in addition to that, what they've done, just keep flipping this over, what they've done is created their own levels, as you get every iteration of Mario Kart, and they're absolutely fantastic because they are designed with the flying and the underwater sections in mind, and as a result, it's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant effort by Retro Studios. The music's good. The music's really good. It's a big thing for me with Mario Kart games. I need the soundtrack to be good. Nintendo naming conventions continue to be lazy as hell. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that's bad enough. No, Mario Kart 7. Really? 7? You could have just called it Mario Kart 3DS. Apparently, Mario Kart 3DS would have confused people into thinking it was Mario Kart. So that was my camera cutting out. Back to the gibberish I was spouting before. Yeah, Mario Kart 7. I mean, really, you just couldn't have come up with anything? Mario Kart 3DS, like I say, would have been fine. The only assumption is that if they produced it and called it Mario Kart 3DS, some contingent of the audience would have thought that it was the third game on the 3DS, or maybe it was Mario Kart 3, but there was never a game called Mario Kart 3. And how stupid, if that is the case, how stupid do they assume the consumer is? I mean, if this says Mario Kart 7 on it, where are the other 6 Mario Kart games for the 3DS? Because I've been looking, and I can't find them. I'm a consumer. Nintendo's new trend of giving games terrible names continues. But like I say, it's a really solid game. The complaints you'll see in reviews refer to the normal stuff you get in Mario Kart, which is the rubber banding issues with the AI. It doesn't seem as bad on this one. I've only played 50cc and 100cc so far. I haven't delved into the world of 150 because I don't want to throw my 3DS across the room. But you know, at the end of the day, it's Mario Kart. The AI is going to be cheap. You're going to be, basically, the best thing you can do in Mario Kart is stay away from first until the second half of the final lap, because otherwise you're just going to get pummeled with blue shells and red shells, and before the end of every lap you'll end up in about 7th, which is an absolute nightmare. But I think the key is, if you stay away from the first, the AI doesn't quite so rampantly try and screw you over, basically. So there's new power-ups, as the Fire Flower,
which is pretty self-explanatory, but it's nice to see it. Classic Mario power-up. You've also got the Tanuki tail from the Tanuki suit. Tanuki suit making a comeback in 2011. It's kind of awesome. And the Lucky 7, which gives you, I think, 7 random power-ups. So just as when you get the red shells and the green shells and they rotate around your cart, with the Lucky 7, you get 7 power-ups and they all spin around the cart. Now they could be red shells, they could be green shells, they could be the Invincibility Star, it could be anything. Any 7. And also, as it's spinning around, if the enemies crash into it, that sort of takes them out of commission. Which is also what's good about the Tanuki tail, because you apply it and then it works for a limited time. And what it does is gives you an ability to hit the attack button or the use button again to repel enemy weapons or just hit them with the tail. So it's a really cool power-up. Like I say, I mean, overall this is just a fantastic package. The only shortcoming the reviews have consistently pointed out is that there's only 16 courses. And not as many characters as there was in like the Wii version, or even the DS version, which was a great game. To be honest, it's not the end of the world. The gameplay changes are quite meaningful, and I think this is a fantastic entry in the series. Yeah, it would have been nice if it was more comprehensive, you know, and you have every track or something ridiculous like that. But it is what it is, and it's a fantastic Mario Kart game. Probably, it's the most fun I've had with a Mario Kart game since Mario Kart 64. And that's saying something, because I've played them all and I have enjoyed them all. Yeah, it seems like a real return to form. So my other 3DS game is Super Mario 3D Land. Not Super Mario Land 3D, which may come out at a later date. Who knows? This is absolutely fantastic. The review scores for this were good, but they criticised it for being too short and the early levels too easy. Honestly, I was playing it with that in mind. It didn't bother me whatsoever. It's just a full-on nostalgia trip. I've heard reviews that have also commented saying that this is basically it's the most faithful 3D Mario game to the 2D gameplay style, if you know what I mean. I mean, a lot of it takes. I mean, it's all in 3D. The game's rendered in 3D. It plays in 3D. You run back and forwards on a 3D plane, but the gameplay's kind of 2D. And it's tremendous, it really is. It uses a lot of tricks with sort of like depth perception, which makes great use of the 3D. And also, I didn't mention with Mario Kart 7, but Super Mario 3D Land and Mario Kart 7, you can have the 3D slider up full. It won't hurt your eyes, and it just works. And like, it's so rare in these two games that my eyes have become blurred or confused, or I've had to sort of, blink and refocus, because it just works perfectly. The 3D's subtle, but it works to tremendous effect. I can't speak highly enough of this game. So many classic Mario themes are in it. The level design is... I mean, I'm only in the early stages. I've just got halfway through the second land or world, whatever it's called. And it's just brilliant. There's so many throwbacks. On the bottom screen, there's a couple of buttons that allow you to turn the camera left and right. And they're modelled after the C buttons from the N64 controller. Just little throwbacks like that. They're tremendous. The Tanuki suit is amazing. It's everywhere. Every level gives you the Tanuki suit so far. It's absolutely crazy. When Mario takes enough damage, he becomes, little like he did in the old 2D games. He loses his hat. Losing the hat doesn't have any gameplay repercussions like it did in Mario 64. It's just an arse load of charm. It's so good. Really don't know what else I can say on this one. Like I say, it is the must-own title for the 3DS. They finally put one out. I was really hesitant to pick it up. I really was worried that it wouldn't be that good, because a lot of 3DS games have been a bit disappointing to me. But this is not one of them. And I couldn't recommend it highly enough.